Attention Shrooms, you read the title. My top 5 for flathead fishing for 2021 coming right up. If you're new here, I make fishing vlogs and the odd video like this, so if you enjoy this kind of content, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Coming in at number 5, we have the Berkley ProTech Brimz 38 Deep. Contrary to the name, this lure has done a lot of damage for me in previous videos. I'll put the link up to that if you want to check that out. So what makes it so good? It's a bite-sized presentation that dives really deep with the most incredibly deep thumping side-to-side action that flatties in estuaries just simply cannot ignore. Now, if you can put up with the fact that there is that chance that a decent flathead could engulf the lure in one go, then this lure will tick most other boxes for you along the way to catching that flathead that you're seeking. One good color that I've been using is the nuclear chicken, and that's been a performer for me up the systems in the Parramatta River. Technique, best way to use these lures is actually the simplest way to use these lures, and that's just a slow wind of your reel. Slow wind, get that thumping action if you can. Keep that along the bottom because that's where flathead lie in ambush. And when you feel sudden heavy weight, make sure you set that hook with a decisive lift. When to use it: when you're fishing open areas and fishing adjacent to snags such as weedy patches, oyster encrusted rocks, and expansive sandy flats. The idea is to have this lure thumping really strongly near the bottom part of the water without fishing it directly into snags, but adjacent to them. Flathead will come out, shoot up off the bottom, and snatch that out of the water column, and all you need to do is have a decisive lift to set those hooks and prevent it being buried down deep. Best depths to throw the Berkley ProTech Brimz is from about 1/2 meter to 2 meters. When it comes to rigging, you can tie just your general terminal leader knot onto the end of the split ring, or if you prefer, tie your favorite loop knot. And when it comes to leader sizes, I recommend, if you're starting out, start with a 10-pound and work from there. You want a little bit more strength in that leader because the target species is a lot bigger than brim, for example, and there's that chance that you could get sawn off. So better to leave a little bit of leeway in case that happens. One little tip that I have with these lures actually do suspend for a short period. So what you can do is you can smear on your favorite scent, such as S Factor or Berkley Gulp gel scent, and as you pause it, you've got a double-pronged attack. You've got that scent wafting through the water, giving that trailing fish every chance to decide to snatch it off you right then and there. Oh, and guys, if you're getting value out of this video, make sure you support me by giving this video the thumbs up. Ladies and gentlemen, on to number 4, the Daiwa double clutch 75mm or 95mm. This is an incredible suspending long jerk bait. Regarding this lure, the matte black color has done the damage for me in previous videos, so I'll put a link up for that. So what makes this lure so good? It has a really good stable suspending action, and you can work waters that are shallow all the way up to several meters. Technique with these lures: super long cast, and then once you have wound down to the desired depth, you can start jerking it all the way back to you. I found giving a series of about 2 to 3 quick sharp twitches in the water. Once again, make sure if you feel a hit, set that hook quickly. When to use this lure? Best time to use this lure is in the warmer months from spring all the way to the end autumn. You can fish sand flats, you can fish channels, you can fish wide open bays. You can modify that approach since it's extremely versatile. When it comes to rigging, I recommend about a 10-pound and up if you're chasing moderately sized fish, but I've been known to throw it as low as 6-pound. Since it's a slightly longer lure, the flathead find it a little bit harder to engulf that. One additional tip with this lure: the hooks that it comes with are incredibly sharp, but given how effective the lures are, they're prone to damage. So what you can do is you can retrofit them with stronger, heavier gauge trebles. Number 3, let's go, is the Zman MinnowZ 3-inch in Motorola color. So what makes it so good? This lure is incredibly stretchy. It's incredibly durable, made of the elastic material. and that just lends itself to having a lure that has an incredible action without moving it very quickly through the water. Plus, everyone knows how effective that motor oil green-brown color is in the Sydney estuaries. The body of the lure is like a barrel, so it's really thick and it's enticing for flathead in particular. So you'll be able to weed out through the really tiny fish as well on your way to catching that flathead. So technique, how to use these lures? Best technique. These lures are incredibly versatile. I like to use a double lift, working it on the very bottom of the water. And it's simply a case of lifting the rod tip about 30 centimeters each time, once it's hit the bottom, and working it all the way back to you. So when to use it? When you're fishing deep holes, channels, bridges, structure. So long as there's a little bit of depth, over about 1 meter, the best depth range I've found in personal experiences has been up to about 6 meters off the bank. These lures are effective all hours of the day, all seasons of the year, so get out there and give it a go. In terms of rigging, this lure works best with a 1/4 ounce all the way up to a 1/2 ounce lead, with a 2.0 light gauge all the way to a 3.0 heavy gauge hook. So one tip with these lures, since they're so durable, they're likely to survive several hits, and that might mean at some stage your lure starts to slide down the shank of the hook into the bend. If you're not using a Headlocks TT jig head that can keep the plastic there, what you can do is you can put a little dab of super glue onto the end, and that keeps it going a little bit longer. Right, halfway up the list, just checking out some of my bass hard bodies. I know this is not the video. Look at that, look at all these goodies. Maybe for a future video, guys. Let's get back to the Flathead top 5. Coming in at number 2 is the Gulp Jerk Shad 5-inch in nuclear chicken color. This lure is incredible. Again, link up where this has done damage. Go check it out. This is just a straight profiled lure. There's no kicking tail action. You simply just whip it off the bottom, couple of jerks, couple of whips, and it comes diving straight down to the bottom. And for whatever reason, this lure is incredible at pulling flathead out of any terrain. Works well up the rivers. It's worked well off me in the bay. It's worked well off the beaches. It's suitable in every terrain. You can mix and match with your hook sizes and your jig heads to the area you're fishing. Best technique for myself, really strong double lifts. I find you gotta get this lure shooting up right off the bottom, and on the descent through the water column, Mr. Flatty comes right up and will grab that in front of you. You'll feel a thud, and make sure you set a really strong hook set, because you'll hook a lot more flathead that way. When to use it? All 4 seasons of the year, all day, all nights, fishing, all those areas that I mentioned before. When it comes to rigging, a 2.0 to a 4.0 hook with a 1/4 ounce to a 1/2 ounce lead, depending on the depth. If you're fishing on a boat, drifting say 4 to 6 meters, go to about a 1/2 ounce so that you're on the bottom, in that bottom third, bouncing it off the bottom, creating puffs of mud and sand every so often. One tip with these lures, don't be afraid to fish them on slack line as well. You can just do your action, your lift, your double lift, it can still hit the bottom, as long as you're not getting wind knots. That faster dropping action with the shape of the gulp just works in synergy. And this is it, the final one on my list, my top 5, the top lure, the one that's done the damage for me. Here we go, number 1, the Squidgie fish, 80mm in silver fox is my pick. So what makes it so good? I've caught several fish in the 80cm plus category, even a 90cm flathead on this lure alone. So it's done the miles, it's got the reputation, it's been a perennial performer for me, and I just can't argue with the results. Technique, again, double lift, but I like to be a little bit more gentle with this plastic than with the Gulp Jerk Shad. So I like to let the tip, I like to load the tip and let the tip straighten and then do the second lift. It's only a tiny difference, but it gets the plastic working really smoothly and accelerating through the water. When to use it? Look, I've used this lure all hours of the day, all seasons of the year, every single situation, from boat fishing to land-based fishing, up in really brown dark waters after rains, to really clear water out towards the mouth. That silver fox color absolutely matches the mullet that the flathead are feeding on. Rigging, I'm very specific with this lure. I only use a 3.0 hook with a 3/8 ounce or a 1/2 ounce if the current is raging and I'm fishing extremely deep water. I don't vary far away from those parameters. One additional tip with this lure, make sure you rub scent such as S Factor or Gulp gel scent all along the ridge side body of the lure. It keeps it already comes with its aniseed scent, and your additional S Factor or Gulp gel scent or your other favorite scent, it stays on the body for quite a long time and it continues to work for you. And it's just a completely deadly combination. Oh, one more thing guys, I've actually included number 6 in the list, but it didn't quite make the video, so I'm gonna put it up on my Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok. So if you guys wanna check out number 6, you know where to find it. So guys, that's the Shroom's top 5 lures. Did you agree with it? What about your top 5? I'd like to hear about it. Make sure you let me know in the comment section down below. And guys, if you want to see more content like this, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit that bell, and let me know what other videos you'd like to see. Maybe a top 5 for mulloway fishing. And guys, I'm out of here. I'll catch you all soon.